Hello, hello, beautifuls. How are you? I am dropping on tonight, and we're going to do a little, sorry, my face is a little red. My little face is a little red. I've been running around here like a crazy person. Hopefully you can hear me. I have my exhaust fan on right now, and it's kind of loud, but I am going to be making some pork tacos, and we're going to be making some pickled onions and some coleslaw. So as you're popping on, say hello to me. Let me know that you are here. What I'm doing right now is I'm heating up my cast iron frying pan, and that's why my exhaust fan's on, so I don't set up the smoke detector, which usually happens when I'm making this. What I've done, first of all, is I've taken my pork tenderloin. I cut off, if you have that kind of like silvery membrane on your tenderloin, cut that off because you want it nice and tender. Then I put it into just a Tupperware container, and I put in there, what did I all put in there? I wrote this down so I don't forget. I put in a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, because that will really, really make that meat soft. 2 teaspoons of lime juice, 1 teaspoon of Chipotle seasoning, and 2 huge, probably almost 3 tablespoons of chili powder. I put in there, and then I put some fresh oregano, and I just blended it up in my Ninja, and that became my rub. And as you can tell, it's kind of a runny rub, and I rubbed this, and I put this in the fridge for, I think it's been in the fridge since noon. Now the other one I've already cooked, and I've started it just so I can show you what the finished product looks like. So the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to take a cast iron frying pan. You're going to add about a tablespoon or 2 good teaspoons of olive oil in there, and then we're going to sear this, and we're going to sear it for about 5 minutes on each side. While we're doing that, we're going to make some other stuff, okay? So we've got it going. So that's going to sear in that pan for about 5 minutes. And we're going to sear it on all 3 sides. Most times a tenderloin's going to look like a triangle. So you want to sear it on all sides in a really, really hot frying pan. Okay, next thing we're going to do, because I love pickled onions with my pork tacos. So we're going to make, and I'm going to make another batch here because I love to have 2 jars going, and I was right out. So it's really, really super simple to make your own pickled onion. So you're going to add a good, depending on how much, right? I'm going to make a nice sized jar here, so I'm going to add a cup of regular vinegar. I'm going to add about a 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar. Maybe about 3/4 of a cup, because I like it tangy. I like when my pickled onions are tangy. We're going to add, now if you have garlic cloves, you can use garlic cloves. I just have my minced Costco garlic here, so that's going to work too. So I'm going to add a good 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic. How are you guys tonight? What are you guys up to? I don't know if I'm getting your notifications, by the way. So if you are saying anything, I'm going to go back and I'll answer you guys. What do you guys think of my little wine glass? Isn't that super cool? Super fun for Christmas. I can't tell where I need to put it. Oh, there you go. Now you can see it. Okay, then we're going to, oh, Angela, I seen you. Hello, Angela. We're making some pickled onions, Angela. This would be really good with all that deer meat you guys are eating. Now we're going to put in about 4 or 5 peppercorns, and I also like to put a few extra peppercorns in the bottom of my jar. So I'm just going to put that over there. I'm just going to check this out. Well, we got 2 minutes. You can just hear that pork tenderloin just sizzling in the background because it's in a very, very hot cast iron frying pan. Okay, then we're going to add a good tablespoon of whatever kind of sweetener. If you guys are using regular sugar, that's totally fine. I use Truvia. So you're going to add a tablespoon of that, and we're just going to mix it up. And we're just going to heat this a little bit. It doesn't have to come to a boil or anything because we're not processing it. We just want to dissolve that sugar. So I'm just going to set that back over there. line. John painted burners on the other side and I can't get them lit, so we'll put them over there. Hello, Rena. Rena, we are making pork tacos, we are making coleslaw, and we are making pickled onions, and I'm just heating up my, oh, and it's time to turn. So it's 5 minutes on the one side for that pork tenderloin, so I'm just gonna turn it over. And I put the pork tenderloin on the other side. Okay, so we're gonna finish up our pickled onions while that is getting nice and hot over there. And it doesn't have to boil. Like I said, we're not processing, and we're gonna keep it in the fridge. You know what? Some people even just mix it and they throw it in there. They don't even heat it. I'm just gonna heat it. Be really careful if you're using a mandolin to slice your onions. We don't wanna slice our hands. Yes, I should have my guard on here. I agree. How are you, lovely ladies, today? Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm just going to throw that over there. So now what I'm going to do, and I like, you don't have to, but I like taking a sprig of rosemary. Got a big giant one here off my, I keep my herbs in pots beside my big window, and then that way I have fresh herbs all winter. So I'm just going to throw a thing of rosemary in there, and then I'm going to throw my onion. If your onion's like really, really big purple onion, you can cut it in half. You can chop it up however you want. And it's not a big science. You just shove her in there. I think this would make a really, really good Christmas present too. Make a jar of homemade pickled onions for your friends, right? I love getting homemade gifts like this when people do things and make them. So see, that's going to look really, really pretty. And we just stuff all the onion in there. Oh, got it in my mail. What are you guys having for supper tonight? Did you guys already make supper? I feel like I'm yelling because of that exhaust fan, but as soon as it's done. Okay, so then it's as simple as that. Just because it's hot and I don't want to spill it all over the place, I just poured it in a measuring cup. You don't have to. If you've got good skill, you can dump it right into your jar. And I'm just going to I got some of my garlic in the bottom here. I'm just going to scoop it up. Okay, and this is as simple as it is to make pickled onions, right? Now then you're going to put it into your fridge. And this is what it's going to end up looking like. Yummy, yummy pickled onions. I'm just going to throw this one in here. The hot water, the hot liquid is what's going to make it turn nice and kind of pinky like this. Super, super yummy. I made these earlier today. The longer they sit in your fridge, the better. But these were made at dinner time. And they're already nice and tangy and yummy. So that's going to go onto our pork tacos. I'm just going to watch that tenderloin and I'll show you in a sec what it's going to look like. You guys aren't telling me, what are you guys having for supper? As soon as I get that crazy thing into the oven, then I will be able to turn that exhaust fan off. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our dressing for our really simple coleslaw. And it's super, super easy coleslaw. So we're going to take a half a cup of mayo. Half a cup of mayo. We are going to take a couple, I'm really messy with this one hand, super, super messy. We're going to take a couple tablespoons of sour cream. Put that in there. we are going to put about 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. I always get the one with the mother in it. They say it's supposed to be better. I don't know, so I always shake it up before I use it. So about 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. Put the little mother in there. And we're going to put a teaspoon of lemon juice or lime juice, whatever you want. I got lemon juice here. I also have lime, but we'll do lemon. So about a teaspoon of lemon juice. We are going to use some garlic. And if you have garlic powder, you can use garlic powder too. I'm just going to use this garlic again. So about a teaspoon of garlic is going to go in there. I put garlic in everything, man. That is my favorite thing. Okay, and we need some truvia. It's time for me to flip that pork tenderloin. It's getting a really, really nice sear to it. I'll show it to you guys before I throw it in the oven. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put about a half a teaspoon of sugar in there. I use Truvia. Like I said, you can use regular sugar. I'm going to put some celery seed. Seriously, I think celery seed is the bomb when it comes to coleslaw and just making that whole summer feeling. We're kind of making, it's almost like it's a summer meal, right? Rather than the winter, but it's gorgeous outside. Absolutely gorgeous. We're going to put some fresh ground black pepper in there. I'm so excited I can actually use my hand now to hold on to things because I couldn't use pepper for the longest time. And then we're going to use a little bit of almond milk, which I already have out, just to thin it up a little bit because of our mayo. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, and you guys can whisk this. I am just so into using that Ninja for all of my salad dressings because we don't buy salad dressings anymore. We make all of our own. You know what's going into them. You get to try all different kinds of things and it's super fun. So I'm just going to take this over here for a sec. Got our salad dressing. And you can use whatever kind of cabbage you want. I know I seem like I'm really rushing tonight. It's that I'm used to cooking with John, and right now John's on the phone with his brother. They haven't talked to each other for a very long time because his brother's been busy or John's been busy, and he happened to phone just before this video. So I feel like I'm doing everything and I'm really, really rushing. And I don't mean to, because I really enjoy cooking with you guys. I enjoy hearing how your day is as we drink a glass of wine, right? So forgive me if I sound like I'm rushing. It's just that I'm not used to doing all the steps by myself. So we've got some purple cabbage. You can use any kind of cabbage you want. And I just ran it up on the mandolin. John's really good at like slicing up a cabbage. I'm not so much, so I just do the mandolin. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of green onion into my cabbage here. And then we're gonna pour on our dressing. That's kind of a thinner coleslaw-y dressing. So yummy, super easy. I use this one all the time. If you guys weren't watching, I'd stick my hand in here right now and mix it. It would be a lot easier. A lot easier, right? We're gonna mix it up. And this is, when we make our pork tacos, we're gonna put the cabbage in the inside. I'm gonna because it's just gonna give us that crunch for our taco. Yum, yum, yum. I don't think I need the rest of that dressing. I'll set that aside. Okay, so that's what we're gonna be having for supper. We're gonna be having, I'm gonna have lettuce wrapped pork tacos. And John, I got him these little taco shells. They are 17 grams of carbs for one, and one would not fill me up, so I'm going to do the lettuce wraps instead. And all you do is you just heat these up, you know, and then you just make up his tacos. One of the things that John loves in his taco is this. I don't know if you guys have been to Costco's lately, but they have this Chipotle sauce. John eats this crap on everything, but he loves it on tacos, so I've got that for him. For myself, I'm just going to use a salsa. And I'm just going to get this out of the way. I need this to show you guys. Okay, I'm going to bring the tenderloin over and show you how it's all nice and brown, crusted on top. So it's got that, I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see that? It's like it's really, really brown. I just added a little tiny bit of sauce that's left, and I'm going to throw it in an oven. And my oven's at 375, and it's going to take about 20-25 minutes, depending on how big your tenderloin is, right? I do have another one in there, so you guys don't have to wait that long to see. Okay. I'm just going to leave my other one in there just for a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to bring it out and I'm going to show you what you do next. Boy, it sounds a lot quieter in here. It's super, super cool. So yeah, you guys, I don't know if I'm getting notifications, but go ahead and tell me what you guys are eating for supper. I was telling some of you guys earlier, I think this morning, was it this morning, that I was talking about some of the gifts that I'm doing up for Unique. And I was telling everybody that because, and I can use whatever excuse, right? Whether it's COVID or whether it's my accident with my wrist, but I just have not been eating properly. I have not been exercising. Yes, I'm getting fluffy. And I've really been kind of feeling sluggish and just down on myself. And I realized that the only person that's going to be able to change it is myself, right? So I decided today that no, other than my glass of wine that I have with my supper, the rest of it, my life is going to be keto. And my glass of wine is always on my day off. Today, this is my, I'm actually working Saturday. So this was my day off. So I'll have a little glass of wine or whatever. That's my little carbs. And then the rest of the time, I'm going to go into keto. I'm actually even going to start exercising at lunch. I think I'm going to do some walking if it's not too icy outside or whatever. There's a lot of things I can't do because of this wrist. But, I mean, there is things I can do. And I definitely have to start. I want to start feeling like me and feeling healthy again, right? And I could wait till January 1st. Because that's my whole thing. Every New Year's, I do a New Year's resolution. I do the whole vision board and everything. But I thought, no, enough's enough. I need to take back control. So for breakfast, I had a really nice sausages and eggs, and then and that was like late. That was probably around 11 o'clock. Like I almost did like an intermittent fasting up until 11, and then I haven't had anything all day. And then I'm going to have my pork tacos in a bit here, and I'm going to start watching that. I've also jumped on the bandwagon with a girlfriend, and her and I are going to message each other and kind of encourage each other, but we're going to do it the way we want to for ourselves, right? So that's kind of exciting. I'm just going to show you. In case any of you guys missed earlier's post and I forgot to take pictures, and I will, we are doing up, of course, Scentsy gift packs. So you're going to get a wine glass, just like the wine glass I'm drinking in, and it's going to be filled with chocolates and all different kinds of samples, and it's going to come with 2 wax bars. So I do have a few more of those. You can't have that wine glass, though. That one's already been bought. I just have to wrap it up, so we're going to be doing that. For the rest of the month, on this page, we're going to be doing, right up until Christmas, we're going to be doing all different kinds of stock that I have on hand for Christmas presents. So if you guys want any of that kind of stuff. And then going into the new year, we're going to have a whole bunch of different draws. We're going to have all different kinds of things going on. But John and I already kind of talked about it. And we kind of want to go into the new year for ourselves too, with a whole wellness look, right? Like if anything, 2020 has been hard on everybody, but we want to look at ways that we can improve our lives. There's things we don't have control of course, you know, tons of things, but we want to be able to start working on the things that we can control. So whether it is, you know, our spirituality, our physical fitness, even myself, I'm going to be doing a lot more makeup videos, a lot more skincare. Like skincare is going to be my big kick for January because, hey, we have to take care of the skin we're in, right? Okay, I'm going to bring out my pork tenderloin. Ooh. I don't know if it's the, or shut up. I don't know if it is the maple syrup or what on here, but it absolutely freaking smells delicious. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is going to be for my pork tacos. What you should do with all meat is you should tent it and let it rest for about 15 minutes, okay? But I'm not going to keep you guys on here that long. So I think I'm going to, I wish I had another hand. That's why it's nice to cook with somebody, right? That's why it's so nice to cook with somebody. I'm going to, I'm just going to bring it out and put it on. Oh, somebody's messaging me about a foundation right now. I'll get back to you in a sec. We're just going to put that little tenderloin on there. And of course, if you tent it, it's going to really, really get all that moisture and everything. It's really, really going to stay into your tenderloin. But I'm just going to sneak off a little bit here. And of course, I don't know where my good knife is. Okay. I don't know if John, oh yes, super, super tender. I'm just going to cut off a little bit. You really shouldn't do this. You should always let your meat rest a little bit. I'm just going to show you. Does that look freaking delicious? Okay, so easily to do the pork tenderloin, what I would do, and I'm just going to show you that, is I take my little lettuce wrap. I'm going to put, maybe I'll use this, it'll be easier. Put a little bit of the coleslaw right into your wrap. And like John, I'm going to make him up one here right away too. So you put your coleslaw in there. I use pickled onion. I freaking love the pickled onion. So I'm going to take our homemade pickled onion in here just to give it a little bit of bite. And you know, I'm a really saucy person, meaning I love like ketchups and all these kind of sauces, but I find if I have pickled onion and a little bit of coleslaw, I don't have to drench it in a bunch of sauce. John, on the other hand, is gonna have his chipotle. Another good fat to have in here is I have some sliced avocado here, so you can put a little bit of avocado in there if you want. Then you're gonna put your little pork tenderloin. It's gonna be really, really messy, but I'm just gonna taste it and my avocado jumped out. This tenderloin is super, super tender. And it's almost got that smoky, because of the chili powder and stuff, the chipotle, it's got a really, really good smoky taste. This would make it like for anything, right? Like you can have sliced tenderloin sandwiches, even as, you know, put it on a little cracker or whatever. But for us, we're going to do the, I'm drooling. I can't even think here. We're going to do the tacos. So it's super, super simple. Again, great tips for your tenderloin. Cut the skin off, okay? If there's any of that silver skin, cut it off. Make sure you're marinating it. The longer you can marinate it, the better. If you can marinate it the night before, better. Make sure you're using apple cider vinegar, right? Because that apple cider vinegar is going to make that muscle, that tissue, really, really soft and tender. And like I said, we put in about a quarter cup of maple syrup. That's probably the only thing that's not keto in there. But I mean, it's just the rub, hey? And putting in some really good tablespoons of chili powder. Your lemon or your lime juice too is going to help tenderize that meat. I just, like I said, I put it in a Tupperware container. The reason I use a Tupperware container is I can flip it, like just take the container and shake it up or whatever. And like the longer you put it in there, the better. But if you, like mine's only been in there since noon. It's freaking fantastic. You can put whatever else you want on your tacos like you normally would. Like I said, I love a really tangy coleslaw. So by using that apple cider vinegar again in our, and apple cider vinegar is really, really good for you too if you're trying to lose weight and stuff. So that's a great thing that we've incorporated into our coleslaw. And like I said, to cut back the carbs, I'm using it lettuce wrap. Iceberg lettuce really has no nutritional value, but it makes a good wrap, right? I think that's kind of it. Like I said, you can add some avocado. You can add some homemade salsa. I've got some homemade salsa. Maybe my other one will have a little bit of homemade salsa. But that's super good. So I don't know what you're having for dinner, but I would love to hear. Thanks for joining me on this. And if you try this recipe, let me know. And if you're watching this in the replay, hashtag replay so that your girlfriends can watch this too. Have a great day. Love you guys. Don't forget to grab your own wine glass from me. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I love you guys, and I really appreciate you. Bye-bye.